Hi everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode of Season 2 of the A Bit of AI show. This episode we will talk with Ben about his life in AI. Hi everyone, and welcome to the 9th episode of Season 2 of the A Bit of AI show. My name is Henk Boelman. I'm a white male with brown hair, wearing glasses, and today I'm wearing a black hoodie with the Azure Live logo on it.
Very good description, Henk. And hi, my name's Amy Boyd. I am a white female with blonde straight hair, and today I'm wearing a dark grey jumper. Mine's a little plainer, but Henk, we didn't follow our usual rules. We're meant to be wearing bright clothing, and both of us turn up, but it is very much winter here, so I do apologise.
Exactly. Yeah, it is the time you just want to blend into the background. So hi everyone, and once again welcome to the A Bit of the AI show. This show is all about the story from the people behind the AI systems. Because in our job, Amy and me, when we travel the world, meet so many people around the globe, and we realize that there are so many different skilled people involved in creating an AI solution. So from pre-sales to consultancy to the people creating the deep neural networks itself and running them in production. So in this show, we invite people from all over the world that are professionals in the AI space to just have a chat about what they actually do during the week and how they reach this point in their career. So this is the 9th episode of Season 2, and we couldn't be more excited to start talking to our guests and learn more about what they do. And as always, everything is available on our website, abitofai.show.
And you know what it's like. I'm all about the logistics. So after the show, you can join us in the A Bit of AI experience. That's where you get to meet myself, Henk, and our wonderful guest straight after the show. If you go to aka.ms/abitofai-cafe, or if you're on our website, there's a button at the top of the screen.
Perfect. So let's get started and invite Ben to the screen.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Ben. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
Very, very good. Well, let's get kicked off because we know how quick 30 minutes goes and we don't have that much time, but I know you have a lot to tell us. So first things first, Ben, tell us who you are and what you do in the space of AI.
Okay, so I am Ben Fishman and I am an algorithm developer and data science and AI researcher. I work mainly with unstructured data, mainly with computer vision, audio, speech signals, etc. And today I'm working for Microsoft in the Surface Group, and I'm leading data science and algorithmic team.
Amazing. Well, thank you for everything you do. I actually have a Surface that I'm running on right now, so that's always a win. To know that there's a data science team always improving the behind the scenes is so fantastic. So you broke down sort of the types of data you work with there, so that was interesting because audio is quite a specific type of data, same with video. And all jobs in our industry look completely different daily. But I was wondering, can you describe to us, what does your average day look like? Because you're both a data scientist, but you're also a manager.
That's right. And actually, it is quite different to be a data scientist, an IC, or a manager. And you look a little differently on the day-to-day. The day-to-day looks differently. And I think that it starts at my position today, starting from the single task, which I'm not going to implement and research, but I need to follow and supervise in a way. So thinking about what will be the goal, how long it will take, what will be the different risk on it, and try to think of the general pipeline and architecture that we are going to use, not only in deep learning, but generally what will be the algorithm. I can say that one of the main challenges is to take this research field into production. This is a big challenge today. And therefore, to be in a production and industry environment, which I used to, but you work with PMs and software engineers and other people with different skill set, and you need to take this research field into specific, time slots, and you have like deadlines, etc. And this is the main challenge of how to get it to work. And then after the specific task, I need to oversee of the team, the task and the people in the team. I have a lot of mentoring. It's not task, but to go with the person, with the team member, to try to see what is the struggles, what are the challenges, and get into the details. Sometimes it's not only how long it's gonna take, just predict the times, etc. You need to really get into the details of many tasks, because in the team there are many tasks, and try not only always to solve it, but sometimes just to guide, or to ask the right question, or to try to get back to the beginning and to think, what are we looking for? And this is kind of the work that I'm doing in mentoring. Another very important thing is to looking forward and to try to build the team both technically and from the, let's call it, from the HR perspective, because sometimes our tasks are very long term. And if I want that, or if the team need to do a task in 1 or 2 years, maybe you need to try to understand and get into a new fields, a new domain expertise. Maybe you need to bring these people into your team. And this is from the more HR and domain expertise knowledge, but also you have all the technical side of the infrastructure, and build a team that know to work together, that have a common research methodologies, and to know to use one each, ideas, code, algorithms to base on one each other. And this is part of my job as a team manager, to try to create these collaborations and this togetherness feeling and way of work.
I really like that. It's a good perspective in some senses. I'm not sure it's one that we've had described quite like that, where you've kind of said, I have day-to-day sort of more technical tasks, and then we have to be collective as a team in solving those tasks. And then I also have to think about the long term, what's coming down the line, what do we want to achieve in the future, and skill up my team, or maybe I need to go and find someone that's going to help us as a team get in the right place. Goodness me, there's a lot of spinning plates, as people say, on your plate there, Ben.
Definitely. So sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and think, oh, this algorithm, we need to solve it like this, or this type, we need to solve it. So yeah, there is lots on my mind.
Amazing. Yeah. So you also you used IC, and maybe our viewers don't know what an IC is. So that is individual contributor vs being a manager. I think that's what you meant. Perfect.
That's
So
what I meant.
yeah, perfect. So what I'm wondering is, like, you went from individual contributor to manager, but you also went to school, you studied something. So I want to hear about your journey. How did you get to the point where you're actually a manager and managing data science teams?
Yeah. Okay. So a long time ago. It wasn't that long time ago, but I started actually as a biomedical engineer. I started to learn it because at one point, I really liked to be an engineer, to build something new, and I really liked the medical fields as well. But when I studied, it was the bachelor. I went more and more to the electrical engineering part and the signal processing. Back then, I called it signal processing, and tried to do algorithms. Back then, I already liked, the image and image processing, computer vision, and the audio part, and I call it algorithms and signal processing. But that was like the first steps, I think. Then I started, the journey in the industry, and I started in a company called Mobileye. Now it's part of Intel. They developing the autonomous vehicles, so they're well known. And I was there in algorithm development. There was a very big department of algorithms. And then I started to get to know and to learn how to get these algorithms and starting with ML as well into the real life, okay, and how to solve a real life problem. So I started from more classical solution and ML solution, and pretty quick, I think that they got into the deep learning era. It was, I think, in 2014 or something. So it was pretty early, not from research point of view, but from industry point of view. And I started to get into this field and understand it well and better. I have to say that back then we actually implemented the algorithms for the final solution in the real time and all of that. So it also provide me software skills, and I think it is really important. Going forward, I started, to get more and more experience and became a technical leader. Specifically, I got into the field of there was many cameras around the vehicle, so how to fuse it together. So all the fields of sensor fusion, etc. It was really interesting in my eyes. So I started to lead this field, and at some point I became a team leader back then. And it was a small team that actually it was started from one person into two, and we were three people at the end of the day. At that point, a few years ago, I moved to Microsoft. They started to develop a new platform that related also to the autonomous vehicles world, and it has like two parts: the engineering part and the machine learning part. And over then, I led the machine learning block or part, you name it. And I got more experience not only in machine learning and algorithms, but also how to get it, how to talk with the product managers, how to talk with customer, how to build a very big idea, that going forward. I also did some acoustic related algorithms and models in Microsoft as well after that. And today, as I mentioned at the beginning, I am in Surface in the position of data science team manager.
Nice.
Amazing. What a journey.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
So, and it kind of illustrates that nobody on the show studied the AI thing or doing actually what they've studied for now. Especially in the field of AI, it is sometimes related, but it always changes along the way. Very interesting.
But by the way, I see it's really related because it always was algorithms, and it doesn't matter if it's in the biomedical field or in Surface today, so computers, or Azure for cloud solutions. It doesn't matter, but the main things, for me, it's the algorithms and the data.
Perfect. Well said. So it seems like that your job is all nice and fun, but I really want to know what is super annoying about your role in AI.
Yeah, so there are there are some things that are annoying. I would call it challenging. I think that the
Challenging,
most
that's a good word.
challenging, yeah. I think that the most challenging and sometimes annoying part is actually not the job itself. I mean the AI and algorithms part, but it's more the interface with people that not necessarily familiar with AI. And I'm not talking about how it works under the hood. That's fine. But people that think that AI or algorithms can used as an API. This is a very, software-oriented point of view, and we got really to a really good place today with algorithms and especially with deep learning. But it's still not, general AI, and you cannot take like a model, use it out of the box, and just use it whenever you want. I mean, there are publicly known models that people can, download from the internet, and this is a great starting point. But if you want to do a real product that work well with high, accuracy, algorithmic quality, so you need to use a specific to develop actually the algorithm for a specific domain with a specific sensor, and as more it will be more specific and related to the target product, it will be better. And sometimes this misconception of using it as API, as I said, can be really hard and difficult to explain to the other part.
Yeah, it's a good point, because you work very much in that bespoke machine learning part. We talk a lot of different people. They work in all sorts of different things. They're working on all sorts of different problems. Some problems are higher level problems, and as you said, some problems are very, very bespoke. So it's interesting to hear that perspective. So thank you for sharing. Already, we only have around 10 minutes left. So Ben, we've spoke about this in our prep sessions. What's coming up next is something called our quickfire round. So in our quickfire questions round, we have 6 questions. Myself and Henk will alternate asking you these questions. And one thing that we ask is we'll keep the speed up. So we ask if you could answer with either a word, a phrase, or no more than a sentence, if you can. And then we can dig into any of your interesting answers as we see. Does that sound okay, Ben?
Yeah, I'm starting to count.
I know, yeah, I was going to say, it's all good. Me and Henk will control how many questions. You just think about the answers. So let's get going with that. So the first one, Ben, is very, very simple. It's more about your history. So what was your first computer?
Whoa, it was actually 286. It was in, I think, in 1992.
Nice. Very, very cool.
So what program language was used in the last project you worked on?
Python.
It's always Python.
It was easy.
What is the most useful thing you've learned in AI?
What? I couldn't hear. What is the most?
What is the most useful thing? So is it a tool? Is it an approach that you've learned in AI?
That you always need to look at the data and understand the data well.
Very good advice.
What is your favorite event on the AI calendar?
Oh, this is a difficult question because actually I need to get to more events. The last event that I went actually face to face was 2 weeks ago. It's called IMVC, Israeli Machine Vision Conference. It was really nice after 2 years of COVID.
Can imagine.
Yeah, of course. Now, was there hybrid stuff? Is that something people can catch online?
I'm not sure. It was fully in person.
No, that's cool. It's thank you for sharing. what area is on your list to skill upon next in AI? What's like a new area of AI you want to learn?
So I think I very like the area of time series, and I developed in this area, but more with the classical approaches and not with deep learning approaches. And I really want to get into it and to know it better.
That's a good one. That's an interesting one.
Cool. Final question. You touched upon it already a little bit in your introduction, but now we want to hear some details because we have some time to get some more details. So you're allowed to answer like a little bit more than one sentence on this one.
Okay.
So what was the first thing, project or skill you built in AI? And I think I want to go for project. What was the first thing you
Project,
built?
like
Yeah, what was the
not in
first thing you
not,
actually made?
but AI, not algorithms in general,
Ooh.
because yeah, this is difficult. I mean, I can answer both, but the first major project was actually, I mean, it was with a bit of machine learning and mainly algorithms.
Okay,
They
do
want me
that
to
one.
Yeah,
describe?
tell us about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, it was on the end of the bachelor degree, my final project. And it was related to a sonar, actually. And we tried to detect a human in a room environment using sonar. Some interesting point about it that I was a part of a lab that it was actually a bat lab. They actually had bats on it, and we were inspired of their sonar capabilities. But we did it with a real microphone and a speaker. It was a great project because I actually did it like from A to Z, starting from the hardware, try to get everything to work together, to define and understand how it works, to write both to implement the algorithm and to think about it and to define like the mathematical approach that we are going to use. And it was also with machine learning because we detect and classified the different activities of the person. So I also use machine learning. It was classical machine learning, and if I'm looking at it today, it was so not a lot of data. I mean, like 20 people or something like that. But it was research. But it was a really good project, and we got actually a paper on it on IEEE, which was really nice, and we had a patent that we applied. So it was also a successful project, and I learned about a lot in it.
That's amazing. Goodness me. Academia and education and research are very, very good for that. That end to end, you truly understand the full problem that you're trying to solve cases. I think when you said that, I was like, gosh, I think the last project I've worked on where I had control of everything that happens was probably my research project. So yeah, it's a really good perspective. Yeah, thank you for sharing that one.
Yeah. A very large project was in the thesis, my thesis work. So it was much larger. It was actually in the area of speech, but it was during my way, not at the beginning of it.
So then, was there multiple different people working on that same project with the speech stuff?
Yeah, it was a different person, but it was much more research. It took lots of time, and we have a really massive mathematical formulations and development behind the scenes.
Incredible. Goodness me. Audio, speech, sonar, vision. You've really covered so many different areas. And Ben, we wish we could spend more than 30 minutes with you. For those who can, do join us in the cafe afterwards. Continue to ask Ben about his amazing career, about the amazing things that he's worked on. Or if you have any questions about how he learns, how he got into it, it's a great place to be. So if you go to aka.ms/a-bit-of-ai-cafe, you can chat to us a little bit more. But Ben, with that, we will have to say goodbye to you. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you sharing your perspective, your journey, and what you do day to day with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Henk. It was great to meet you.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, we'll catch you later. Very, very quickly, Henk, couple of announcements we had on our list today. We had, if you missed Microsoft Ignite at the start of November, you can catch all of the AI sessions at akms/ignite-ai-sessions. There is all sorts in there. Store it in what they call your back, and you can, it's not a physical one, don't worry, you don't need to wear it. You can store all your sessions in there, and you can check them out as and when it suits your agenda. Henk, do you want to tell us a little bit about the AI show this week?
Yes, so I just read the announcement. It's going to be on Friday, so tomorrow. And it is all about managed endpoints in Azure Machine Learning. And they're going to cover and talk in depth about that feature. So that feature enables you to kind of quickly make a deployment of your model that is wrapped into a container. But these managed endpoints for you can automatically scale, and you can deploy multiple. You can have multiple deployments in one endpoint. So, and it can route traffic to those different models running in those individually scaled containers. So if you have a new model, you can say okay, route 10% to this new model, and then you can see the results and performance of those models all in application insights, which is super cool. And then you can just deploy that with one CLI line. Gosh. So I'm curious.
It's really...
Yeah, so I'm curious. Oh, sorry. So I'm really looking forward to that episode of That Is One Thing I do most of the time, getting models in production. So this is a great tool.
I can tell you're very excited about this episode. From my point of view, that just seems like the area that really scares me the most, about deployment and containers and compute and load balancing and all of that kind of thing. So A/B testing dealt with for me sounds like it's exactly up my street. So thanks, Henk. So yeah, if you go to aka.ms/AI show, all one word, you will be able to check out previous episodes as well as find the episode coming up. But that's all we've got time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Catch all episodes of season 2 as well as season 1, which felt like so long ago now, at abitofai.show. Come and join us in the A Bit of AI cafe straight after this at aka.ms/abitofai-cafe, or if you're on our website, it's at the top of the screen. And with that, thank you so much for watching. As always, this has been the A Bit of AI show with Henk and Amy. We'll see you soon.
Bye.